You just couldn't serve them alcohol, or them drinking alcohol was their fault if they're above 18. The law is very weird around this drinking. Now obviously it's been highlighted, but it was always there. Like it was always there. But it's not the bar's fault if someone. I'm running a restaurant and a bar, right? So you can come and eat, you can do whatever. My job is to make sure you get in if you are an adult. If you that's what the police told us, that if you're an adult, they are let in. If they are caught drinking, and if they are drinking, that's them breaking the law.
The onus is not on the
The onus is not on the restaurant. The onus comes on the restaurant if someone is below 18 years old. It's and that is obviously a bigger thing. Now in today's day, the onus comes on the restaurant even if you are below 21 years old.
Like like just off tracking a little bit in the Porsche Pune case.
Yes.
What that happened because
The person was below 18 years old. Okay. So then, see, if the minor commits a crime, it is not the minor's fault. But if you are an adult who commits a crime, it's not my fault. Then you are responsible for your crime. So if you are above 18 and you show me a fake ID and enter, and I don't know it's a fake ID. Obviously, I do not know that. My bouncer does not know that. Like nowadays, we actually look. We know when it's a fake. So if we obviously see it's a fake, we'll
get. It's like
okay, wait.
This is not your fault.
Yeah. Like people do it with passports, and they don't realize that on a passport there are multiple places where your date of birth is written, but it's written in code. Okay. So, but we know where the code is because we've seen so many IDs in our life. We can tell a change in font in your Aadhaar card. Like, it's...
Oh, wow.
We've seen like thousands and thousands of IDs, so So I remember when these boys had tried to enter when they were 17.
Untriggered.
Yeah, untriggered. And there's a lot of friends, like this whole group from Aun, they tried to enter once they were 17, and I was like, no guys, you turn 18 and you enter. And then once they turned 18, they entered. Even on like big days, like popular gig nights, we never let them enter. It was on one of those off, chill, sit down evenings. Chalo, theek hai, tumko khana khana hai. You go for it. But now I think like after that, then when they started DJing and all, then the things changed.
Then they became regulars also. Yeah. But let's say I'm an 18-year-old. I can officially enter.
Not anymore. So now they have I mean, these rules were always there. They were always there, but they were never emphasized. So basically, there is a permit area room in every bar. Okay. Every bar has this area where there is a permit room, and you're not allowed to enter that. Basically, till you are 25.
25 or 21?
21, but then you have to be cautious that you do not serve them hard liquor. They only get served beer or wine. So now if you notice, if you go to any bar, they will color code you differently based on your age. So the 21-year-olds will have a different color, then 25-year-olds will have a different color, and the bar will know that this color can be served everything and this color cannot be served everything.
But let's say the security is not so strict.
Yeah.
And
what happens inside is there. Like, we are going to try our best.
If you know that this guy obviously is not 21, but is asking for liquor,
you do not let them in if they're not 21. You just don't let them into the premises only if they're not 21.
It's like, bhai, teko daadi nahi hai. Fuck, bhai.
Yeah, there go daadi. But आज की date में you can't tell the difference between someone किसकी दाढ़ी नहीं होती, वो 28 साल का निकलता है और एक 17 साल का लड़का आता है full दाढ़ी के साथ, तो that becomes, it's very weird.
I remember I was in 7. That was the first time my teacher told me ये दाढ़ी का style नहीं चलेगा.
What does that mean?
दाढ़ी बहुत है तुझे, ये shaving.
Yeah.
That was the first time.
I remember, not for me it was 7th, but like 9th, 10th. You got your sideburns still here and all. They're like, क्या है ये? And like, चलो सिखाओ कैसे करते हैं.
So Somesh, you've obviously been around for a while.
Yes.
You've been managing some of the most famous nightclub bar.
It's a bar. Yeah.
So you've been managing the likes of High Spirits. What do you see there that you don't see outside? Like, how do people change in such settings? Dark, vibey, music.
I think people become themselves. I think everybody has and I don't want to use the word wild, but I would use the word a side that they want to explore. Okay, an unexplored version of themselves that they want to go to these places and do. It's the same when you go out for holidays, but obviously you can't go for a holiday every day. So this is your escape route, okay? Especially from an area where a place like in India where we live with our families and things like that. We live in very controlled environments. And when you come to these places, you tend to let loose. You tend to try to find like-minded people, and you tend to you tend to have what stereotypically is taught to you as fun. So you want to have that kind of fun, and you want to let loose. So I think you see the raw side of people, and I think that is where you can know what people actually made up of.
It's so is there a connotation that it's like dark?
Not really. It depends on how you want to keep your night. So, for example, where I worked at High, or I've seen many other places like that, if they decide to keep their environments easygoing, you light up your place accordingly. All those things, you keep the music accordingly. So automatically everything becomes lighter. All right. There are days when you don't want to do, you don't want people to go that kind of fun. You want to do community-based events. You want to do game nights. You want to do quiz nights. That day you'll obviously keep it brighter, because those are the days you not only want to do those activities with people, but you also want people to mingle with each other. Okay. I think that is one thing that was there in the past in, I believe, the world, and has reduced because COVID taught us how to go into smaller bubbles. Okay, and we became closer to our closer friends, and we stopped being more social. But I think being social is very, very important. Meeting new people is very important. So you have to make your environment conducive to that as well. So I don't think dark is the right word.
No, but from what you're saying, it looks like यार मुझे माहौल बनाना है आज. हाँ. तो मेरा light का intensity ये होगा. Beat wise, I don't know. It's going to be more EDM. It's going to be more.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for that kind of and I think I'm just assuming weekdays are for the light, yay.
Yeah.
PG-13 and weekends are
Yes.
German party.
No, I mean, it's different in different places. Yes, if you want to go for that kind of music, you're definitely going to keep it darker. You're definitely going to keep it more. There's going to be a lot of black and white and red. Okay, if you think color-wise, not only color-wise, just your vibe-wise. Think about you entering a dick chick party. You're going to see black, white, red a lot, flashing lights, things like that. Yeah. When you go into more mellow, honestly, the music does a lot. So if you're you can generalize it and say that if you want to keep it more EDM-y vibe, as you call it, but it's just basically big room house. Okay. EDM is a very, very broad genre. But sorry if I'm getting into too much detail. Sorry. But EDM is a very big genre. But yeah, if you want to keep it high bass, high intensity, then you're obviously going to do a lot of the flashy lights. You're going to want people dancing. You don't want people talking at that point of time, right? But if you want to keep it easy, vibey, you want people just to groove, then you're obviously going to put more colorful lights. You're going to keep the intensities not very bright, but keep them mellow. So these are things that we don't really you don't really look into, but you look into. People you hire.
What's good for business?
Business is you need to play and this is where we're going right now. You need to play either extremely commercial music or Bollywood. Okay. Even in Bollywood, you're only going to play commercial music. Basically, you're going to play music that people listen to on Spotify. Okay.
Whatever's trending in Spotify.
Whatever's trending, Spotify, Instagram, those kind of things. You're going to play that kind of music, and that's what's good for business. That is basically what's good for business. In the short run, yes. In the long run, maybe not, because that's what everybody is doing. So if you want to break out of it, then you have to do something different.
And it's a great segue. High Spirits always had this brand value.
Yes.
I mean, from an offering perspective, yes, more or less similar. Or bhi hai yahan pe. But from a brand value, High Spirits.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? How difficult is it to distinguish your separate your brand, differentiate it from the competition?
I think you have to have something very. So High Spirits started 18 years ago, not on the basis of we want to make money out of this. It was started on the basis of let's have some fun and let's enjoy some good music and make some new friends. So when I was there till like 2022ish, it was all about community building. It was all about bringing out fresh music to the whole to the city, right? There are people, there are various artists today that you know are very very big, but used to play when they were not very big. Yeah, you look at artists like Nuclear, like Ritviz, like Anyasa, and even bands like Local Train, Yellow Diary. These guys are like, in today's day, they sell out shows. But I mean, some of them are not together anymore, not in the same capacity. But like someone like Ritviz will sell out a show. I have been to a Ritviz concert with 50 people, where he was playing inside, where we do this thing on a Thursday called the local scene, and we call local DJs to come and play, and like for like basic fees of 8 to 10,000 rupees, and these guys come and play. I've seen Ritviz at that sort of setting. Okay, and today he is selling out shows. He's a superstar in the music industry. So. But then that was the idea, to bring out this new music, and that time nobody understood it, appreciated. It was all about educating people around music. So I think that has been one of our fortes from the beginning of time. It's also about the community. We've always done things that build communities together, that bring people together, get people to meet new people. The idea back in the day was you can walk into High alone and you'll still meet 5 people. Yeah, so that was the idea. Now, obviously, post like things change. People make plans and come. Your marketing has to be different. You have to tell people, oh, we're having a good scene, come, or like people will still come. People who have routines still come, but it's still much more different than it was before. Also, yeah, age was a thing back. Is a very big thing today. It wasn't that big. So 21 to 22-year-olds would come in very easily, right? Whereas nowadays, like. Because they're like that young, we don't really like, nobody wants to encourage very young people or younger people coming to your bars that much, because
Especially women?
not necessarily, but it's just that you don't want to, it's not like you don't want them to come, but you don't want to create a conducive environment for only younger people to come, because one, it's not like, it doesn't really affect business, I would say, but it's just longevity. You just have like, you just keep the place more sustainable by having slightly older people over there. We used to have parking space for 200 people, and it used to be full, and we used to say parking is full, and today your parking never gets full.
Okay.
Yeah, your parking getting full is a rarity because of the amount of
Do you think, I don't know,
people that come with cabs.
The ease of getting food at your own place, like the rise of Zomato and Swiggy has impacted the business in some ways?
Not the nightlife business at all. But the restaurant business, yes, but it's also good because the ease is also, people can get it from your restaurant also, right? So that way, I think it helps in a way, and but yeah, I don't think it affects. I don't think that affects the nightlife industry very specifically. It affects certain restaurants, old school like restaurants. I think everybody is gone to go like, okay, if someone's ordering on Swiggy, let's just get on it. And if you're an older restaurant, you can work around like, different things on how you want to like package or your margins and things like that. I think you'll do fine. I don't think it's a problem.
I wanted to ask you, as a manager of a bar / nightclub, what's the worst day at work? Like, what does that look like?
The worst.
Someone is doing blood.
Ultia. Okay. A worst day at work, weirdly, is a day that you will make a lot of money, but it's actually not very. It's not a lot of fun. A very bad day at work is when people are throwing up. Okay. And there is some random fight amongst 2 groups of people that you have to separate and get into, and obviously when people are intoxicated, they don't listen to you. They don't rationalize. So obviously you learn the tricks of the trade on how to control people in that sort of state. But it's difficult. It's not a fun day. It's not a fun day when you're having multiple small issues here and there. Because operationally you're ready for everything. Like as work, you're ready for everything. Pani khatam ho gaya, you have backup. You have enough, like your projection, and because you run a established sort of establishment, it's weird to use, but
Established.
establishment. So, but but these are the only issues, like your unforeseen
Always
circumstances.
a curveball when somebody like band showed me teri mata and then they stop.
And then yeah, it's a curveball. Like we are used to keeping our eyes out for that, so it's always like,
Like how you can identify fake cards.
huh?
Can you like you see this guy and
Like
Watch it. Keep an eye on this guy. Yes.
what are the telltale signs?
It's not about how
Anyone North Indian.
it's weird that back in, like, I was very very close to a lot of North Indians, and they used to cause a lot less of a problem. In specifically, North Indians cause problems in North India. Okay, very few times will you find North Indians causing problem in Maharashtra, because they're not locals. They don't understand what is going on, unless it's someone who's lived here for a very long time. Yes, if they are students or if they are just come to work, they're not going to cause problems.
So it's the locals that
Yeah, it is people more who are born and brought up around that will cause such a problem, because they know that I can say something. Yeah, there'll be some impulsive kids, but that one North Indian, if he's with 4 other friends, they are not going to react. If one guy reacts, the other guys will be like, chill, take it easy. We don't have power here. Okay? But when there's a bunch of people who are all from the area, bahar aa dikha tha bhenchod. It is like,
not high spirits ke baad. Fucking come out.
come outside the gate. And that's what we also do. Like, तुम लोग को गेट के बाद को जो करना है कर. By the time they reach outside the gate,
they're like,
1% disappears, 1% forgets.
Now it
Shit.
becomes awkward.
It becomes awkward. अब क्या करें? अभी दिखाने को भी कुछ नहीं है ना. People don't fight because always they want to actually fight. They have something against the person. They want to show that I'm bigger than you. And on the road, who are they showing what to? So it's just becomes an awkward scenario.
How do you like? Obviously, there are these rules about stags.
Yeah.
Why do you have such a place? कि आपको लौंडे लौंडे नहीं चाहिए यार?
हाँ. नहीं,
नहीं
I'll be very honest. ये नहीं चाहिए. नहीं चाहिए.
अच्छा.
I'll be most clubs now. This is a trend, like, and it's a thing all around India, where if you're a stag, you can walk in, you can pay extra and walk in.
Okay.
Most places, I don't want to talk about high, but in our vicinity, in that Koregaon Park, Kalyani Nagar vicinity, most of the bars, and I don't know about this area, but maybe it's true here as well, or maybe it's true in some parts of Bombay as well. They don't, whether you pay money or not, I don't want you in. Okay, I have one guy has told me in the year 2017 that with 5 stags, I'll buy a table, I'll spend a minimum of 1 lakh rupees, and I'm like, no, I don't want. And that was a lot of money then. Okay, it is still a lot of money, but 5 people spending 20,000 rupees per head is a lot of money, and we said no. We will always say no.
Why so?
Because if you're doing that, you are expecting things from me that I don't want to give you. You're expecting top-notch service. You're expecting. I am not running this business for you. I'm running this business for. There are 300 other people here. Okay. I am not going to put just because one person is paying me whatever 20% of what I'm going to make in that day, or 30% of what I'm going to make in that day, does not mean that I give 30% of my resources to that person. That person will come once and not come again. Okay, because our environment that we create is not conducive to this. Okay, it's not like in clubs where they play a lot of Bollywood, they have their tables, they want to like show and all of that. No man, I don't want to name clubs, because I think their business model is fantastic, and I think they choose to do that, and I'm okay with that. Like you do you, man. It doesn't matter. I will not take any amount of money to let you in, unless and until I personally know you. You're a friend, you've come through a reference, you come here often, but today your wife/girlfriend/friends didn't decide to come. It's different. That case is different. I know you, I'll let you in. But if I don't know you, I'm not going to make it, even if you pay money. So that is like a thing. Sometimes you have ticketed events. So you have bands or like tribute nights where there are tickets online. That you have to let in. If you're coming for the music, you are allowed however you are. If you're coming to do time pass, then you come properly.
So this part what you're saying about not letting the stags in.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously there are reasons, right?
Yeah, there are reasons.
Basically, by Londe are not civilized enough, they're going to create a ruckus if they're in, and obviously they're not repeat customers.
They're not repeat customers.
Okay.
So another thing is, and this is just a thing. Like, I don't mean to be rude to men over here, but just men being on tables is going to cause more conflict. We have testosterone, okay? We want to show that we are better than the person next to us. When there are women around you, your chivalry comes out. Okay, so you project your testosterone in different ways. So automatically you become more civilized because you want to show the opposite gender that I am a civilized human being. So if there are women around with you, you're going to behave properly. Think about it. When you go out only as boys, how do you behave? And when you go out with your significant others, how do you behave? It's an entirely different scene. Not like you're not having fun. You're having fun. You're just doing things in a more calm manner.
So do you think that a lot of these guys come in, today I'm going to get late? Oh, see, just from the perspective that I'm going to hit a bar, a club, whatever, I'm going to pick a girl, I don't know how, because I don't have the game, but okay, I'm drunk and she's drunk and okay, happy ending.
I am not saying that a lot of people come like that, but yes, it is. Also, this culture is weirdly does not come from India. It comes from abroad.
Hookup culture?
Yes, I think this culture of people going to bars to hook up is a culture that exists a lot with people who are traveled or people who are from different parts of they've gone to different places or different parts of the world. A regular person who's born and brought up here does not necessarily think like that. This is what I feel. And because it's very prevalent around the world. That's how it's done around the world. And that is a given.
Has anyone ever come to you, a male client, and asked you that, bro, can you hook me up with a girl?
A lot of times. That's exact my answer. Bhencho dalla ho gaya. How do I look like to you? And it's happened to me a lot. And it's not only happened where I'm working, it's happened to me when I've gone out to different places and partying. Bhai, tu to sabko janta hai yaar, koi to setting kara hai yaar, milana something yaar. I wanna meet someone tonight. I'm like, what do I look like to you, bro? So yeah, that happens a lot.
Do you see, does Pune have a lot of daddies?
Not a lot, but there are.
Yeah, Ajay and Vikram.
Yeah. I can name a few like that in my head. Okay. Sorry guys. I know you. But it's there are, but they're not so many. People in Pune, I think, are like they're easygoing. They don't like to do that. They have morals, I feel.
So do you think that the conversation would have been much different if you were in a Delhi or a Gurgaon?
I think very different. I think the culture there is very different. No offense to the culture, it's just how it is. But I think the culture there is very, very different. I think I don't know. I was reading something about how people in Delhi are why ancestrally why are they more aggressive, and it's just a thing. People in Delhi very specifically, Delhi Gurgaon Delhi NCR very.
Anything with the pollution?
No, it actually is.
Not in the pollution.
No,
like,
it has.
What the fuck?
It has to do. It has to do with the Mughals. You won't even remember.
Mughals?
Yeah, there was an entire. I read this entire thing on Instagram but the reason why Delhi people are more aggressive is because they've come from different cultures to come over there, and they had to fight to get better. So there are two types of people who with new money, okay, and people with new money through connections. Everything in Delhi happens through connections, right? So people with new money always have connections. So because of those connections is why they've grown, because of the whole government being there and things like that, okay? That's one. Also because a lot of people who live in that area fought the Mughals out, okay? So they are more so they believe that they gain control through aggression. So that is what they've been taught since that. And there's another sector of Delhi who is not so wealthy but trying to be wealthy, being ambitious. And for them, the only way they've seen people who are ambitious become better is through aggression. And they're also very frustrated कि इसको कैसे मिला मुझे नहीं मिला. So it comes out through that, and it was a very interesting read. And yeah, it is why I mean I feel that Delhi people are more aggressive, but I don't think they're very aggressive outside when they don't see like the means to be aggressive.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they can't call if they're here, they can't call 50 people and be like, bande leke aa and all of that. They can't do that.
No, nobody's gonna come, bro. Like,
Nobody's
what's going on? What?
What?
Bro, तूने traffic देखा है? postpone.
Post. Afternoon. रात को 3 बजे.
Tell me, this entire Pune Porsche was like a event which really, shook the entire city.
Yeah.
How did, because it was more or less directly because of, okay, the setting was night, bar, young kids, okay, rash driving, alcohol. Did that inform you or the business in any way?
Yeah. It influenced not only me and the business, but it influenced the entire industry in a very, very massive manner.
Like outside of Pune, you mean?
No, inside of Pune. And no, I'm not only talking about the nightlife business, but what people don't realize is that with the restaurant and bar business, there's a lot of other businesses connected. There is your vegetable vendors, your chicken and paneer and all these guys vendors, your rickshaw walas, your bouncers, your valet drivers, your cleaners, your waiter, your service staff and your kitchen staff the service industry employs a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people, and there was a huge gap where because customers are not coming, employers don't have enough money to pay their employees and they are struggling to pay them. And employees, these guys who work, as you see, if you see any of your waiters and all, their base salary is something they just go home and give it back to their villages or give it back to their homes wherever they live, and their life goes on the tips they make. Your tips or your service charge, that's their extra income. That's where they spend, that's where they buy their quarters from, that's where they eat their fish and chicken from, right? So that's their upgrades in life. That's where their phones come from, So they upgrade in life through that. So they have not upgraded in life, so they are frustrated. Suddenly, you have all the rickshaws and taxis out during the day because they don't have business at night. So if you see, there's a balance. Like you'll see some rickshaw walas or some taxi drivers who only drive at night because they know that I'll get a larger this thing but I'll still get. So the only thing working at that time was airport. Okay, they were not getting anything else, right? So that's one side of things. And there's a lot of like people who work as bouncers or work as drivers and things. They lose a lot of income. So it affected a lot of people. It affected us a lot. I'm a freelancer. I do I do work for MySpace is one of them, but other bars and things like that. Other I have an event company as well. I do events and everything got affected. So suddenly for 4 or 5 months, it was during an election period where you have stricter rules and Section 144, so you're not allowed to do many things. So from pre-election period till 4 months after that, so close to 4 to 5 months, there was just, you couldn't do anything because the rules had become so strict and things like that. So it did affect, I think, the entire industry quite a bit.
Somesh, so what got you into this?
Oh, it's a very long story. Actually, I was here and I got a job in Africa, in Nigeria. That's where I was. That's where I have family over there, and that's where. So they got me a job, my first job ever when I was 23 years old, and I went over there and it was managing 2 restaurants. And there were bars, one was an outdoor bar. It was in a mini mall kind of thing, and there were 2 restaurants over there, restaurant and bars over there. So I had to just manage that. That was my first job. It was not I didn't have to do anything for the place. I had to just do records every day, maintain things, talk to the customer and all of that. So that's where I learned basics. I came back to Pune and I didn't know anything else. So when I came back to Pune, I joined another place opposite my house as a banquet manager because I came randomly. I didn't want to, even though those jobs are very high paying, you don't want to work there. The pressure is very different. So I came here, tried my luck.
The pressure of being in Nigeria.
Yeah, there's always I'm actually... The thing is, I actually enjoy Nigeria. I don't like working with Indians in Nigeria. It's a very, very different story. But I love Nigerians. I speak their language. They're good friends. I have many good friends, stuff like that. But so when I came back to India, I got a job as a banquet manager. They realized that, this guy's smarter than a lot of other people. I don't mean to brag, but I spoke well.
Well traveled, you've seen different cultures.
Different cultures. So I come through a different background, so obviously then they realized, oh, you can put him in the restaurant. So then I used to work for another restaurant there in camp. It was called 11 East Street Cafe. I worked there for a year and a half, and I was a regular visitor of High Spirit. So I knew the owner. I used to go there on my off days. I used to go there even before when I was a student. So I knew, and they were like, okay, if you ever want a job change, we'll be happy to have you. And I wanted a job change. I went there, and then 6-7 years, and till date, it's like the thing with High Spirits is my boss always says, he says, you can always check out, but you can never leave. Okay. So yeah, we check out, but we're always there because it's more like family. It's like home.
So this was not a very academic-driven career. It was on the job, and you naturally.
Yeah, I have no idea what hotel management is like. So I have no idea. I'm not a operations person. I understand operations and I like to do it, but I'm more of a PR. I'm more of a people's person. So
if something has really gone wrong, I see the owner saying, "Somesh, zara dekh le." You're that guy.
I'm that guy. I am definitely that guy. When something is wrong, dekh le. When you want people to come, ye kahan hai, wo kahan hai, where are these groups, where are these people? All that is something I'm very, 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 very good at. Whenever people are there, making sure that they're very happy, buying them a drink, asking them about how their day is. That is my forte. Keeping relationships with people is my forte. And so that's what.
Hospitality, that is the key, I would say, trait.
Yeah, it's a key. It's a very, very key trade. It's not an essential trade because there are different sides of hospitality. There are people who are very, very good at operations, maintaining, and I think that's also very important. It's a side of hospitality that we don't really see. But people who run big establishments know that getting every costing right, getting every measurement right is very, very important, and you get to save and you can grow a lot from there as well.
Lovely. So then you're a great place, family, great time. What made you do that switch from working at a bar, a good one, but from that to did you want to have your own stuff, or why did you start your own event management thing?
I didn't really start my own event management. That also just came by, but I honestly left because I wanted a change in life. I had 10 hours of my phone ringing 50 times to 100 times in a day, to doing the same thing over and over again. It became slightly a rut. There was lack of innovation from my end, and sometimes you just want more in life. Okay, you believe your ceilings are higher. Okay, you may not achieve them immediately, but you believe that your ceilings are higher. But if you stay like this,
I love that. My ceilings are higher.
Yeah, ceilings are higher. Like, I always believe in ceilings. Like, the reason why people do businesses on their own is because they believe that they're worth more. Okay, and not only in terms of money, but also in terms of I can do more in life, I can learn more in life, I can grow more in life. So basically, I saw ceiling and I'm like, okay, I want to do something else. One thing led to another. It didn't really start very well. But then I started doing PR for different places. I started using what I know to try and branch. I even tried to get like a proper 9-to-5 job, but then that is something that
you can't do that after.
It's very difficult. It's very, very.
Can I come like 7:30 straight to 3 o'clock?
Straight at 3 o'clock in the night. And we don't have those skills. We don't have skills to sit on the computer and make spreadsheets. Like, ye kabhi nahi kiya hai, bro. Like, you've never done this. The only spreadsheet we make is a list of people that you think are going to come for your event. Okay, isko phone karo, ye aayega, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. That is the only Excel sheets we make. Okay, and like basic things. So we don't understand how to. I cannot sit and work. It's very difficult for me to sit down and work and get anything productive out of it. So for me, I have to be moving. I have to be on my feet. So yeah, events was one thing. I got into partnerships in different restaurants that I pulled out of. Also, I do consulting for restaurants where I tell them this is what you should do to get better. So I make plans for them. I do that. So these are things that I need, like I do. So it's very versatile. I'm also a public speaker, so I do emceeing for events. I've gotten into weddings. It's a lot of money and it's very easy, at least for me. And like these things also, like game nights at places. People have mahal banana. And I think you made me learn that mera kaam hai mahal banana. Like I should put it somewhere.
So now you're with the events thing and you were also emceeing. So again, this is not a structured life.
Yeah, it's absolutely unstructured. Like,
You're like what a gig to gig thing.
yeah, it's a gig to gig thing. It is obviously there are plannings to events and all that,
of course, yeah.
and like it takes a while to get everything. But yeah, it's a gig to gig thing, and it's you have no idea when your next paycheck will come or if it will even come or not. So it's a very ambiguous life. But you have to try and make. Right now, I'm in a phase where I'm trying to make do as many gigs as and as many things as possible. So that's what it is. And once I think it falls into place, into a certain place that okay, these are the gigs that work. These are the amount of things that you need to do for this and this and this. And then obviously you have some stables where you're doing consulting and you're like taking a monthly thing from certain places. So you build your timetables and your schedules around that. So I think
But if you don't mind me asking, do you have a family?
I mean yeah,
Like when I say family, I'm asking particularly like probably a traditional family, like for a wife or a child.
no, I am not married yet, and no, I'm not like married, committed, or anything of that sort yet. So, I mean, I have a family. I have a mother. I have a mother and a sister. My sister lives uh, in Europe. She has a very nice, good job over there. So she's very sorted in life. My she's doing fine. She's doing all right for herself. She lives with my grandparents. So I think they're fine. They're doing all right. And so we at least like I don't have any pressure from a family point of view. So yeah, so that kind of helps. It helps and it doesn't help also because then you live this nomadic life for too long. But yeah, I think there's no pressure. So right now I think it's fine to do this kind of
This
thing.
is like life of a vagabond. You've been, just आज ये how, कल how.
Actually it's not like that. It's not that.
मैं पुणे में ही हूँ.
मैं पुणे में
But आज मैं वेस्ट पुणे में हूँ. मैं साउथ पुणे में हूँ.
Ha. I think that I did that for a very long time. I think over the last 6 to 8 months it's reduced because there was no work to do. There was not really much going on. But I think I'm getting back into that ki aaj main yahan hu, and it's this thing. So it also affects your life as a human being, your lifestyle, your health, and all of that. So you have to be smart about what you do, and you look at it as work because every time before it was just like every day is a drinking night. Now today you grow older and you go like nahi yaar hafte mein ek do baar se zyada nahi ho
We see like for a 16-year-old, bhai Somesh has the dream job.
Yeah.
He's a manager of a nightclub. Bhai daru every fucking day.
And then when you get to a certain age in your life, you go like, नहीं हो सकता यार, बस यार, नहीं हो सकता यार.
Give me that milk. No, you're lactose intolerant.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Give me lemon water.
Lemon नींबू पानी.
And also, tell me about this here. With the rise of influencers, has that now more people coming? Hey, my influencer, give me a freebie. I don't know, a drink or whatever. I'll review your restaurant. How legit is that?
It's not really that legit, especially in this sort of industry. Yeah, there are some people who are nightlife influencers or people who have that kind of following. But if you are an influencer with, I will give you a freebie if you put up a post for me or you share my post, and I'm okay to give you a freebie for that. But it's a quid pro quo sort of thing. You do something for me, I do something for you. We come from organizations. And I don't only talk about like where I come from, but there are a lot of places saying that you are an influencer, but I still have more followers on Instagram than you. So you being here is better for you than it is for me as well. So I will do something for you, but you do something for me. So I think that's fine, but it's not over the top, and it's not like people don't come and ask you like they ask you, but they don't expect it that moment. Then they go like, okay, we'll think about it, or we'll next time if I have something for you, I'll definitely get out to you. And then you see how that works. You build relationships with them, basically.
So, like, is there anything like which stands out like the most outrageous request that any guest ever asked you? They were like, "Ye get chutiya hai kya tu?" He's like, "Wow, Neeraj does every second day."
No, sometimes people are outrageous, but honestly, I can't think of like something that outrageous. It's just very easy. Bro, nahi hai. Like I can't do this for you, and I just can't do it for you in this sort of environment. So sorry.
I think Somesh, that's about it.
That's about it. Thank you.
I think
It's
this
lovely
was
talking.
so educational. Honestly, this was very educational. I think for all of us.
Yeah.
Didn't know how this the nightlife segment works.
Yeah, it looks very rosy on the outside, but it's actually not.
Do you think Pune nightlife has gone like quality wise down?
It depends on what you define quality as.
As a young 24-year-old who's looking to have a good time on weekend with his girlfriend, has let's say a budget of 3,000 to 5,000, do you think that Pune is a good place for it?
Yeah, I think you can find your fit, but I don't think that. I think you can find anything in the city. I think it's great, but yeah, it is more expensive. 3,000 for 5,000 today. You can do it, but you're not going to have the wild night that you.
Sharma pav bhaji.
Yeah, no, you have to sacrifice on something. You're going to sacrifice on the quality of alcohol, or the quality of food, or the quality of place that you're going to. Yeah, I think spending 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees per head in today's day and age is basic.
Basic, yeah.
It's basic night out expense. It's not like Mumbai or Goa where you're spending exorbitant amounts, but you still need yeah, inflation has happened. Inflation happened. Not like back in the day, 300 रुपए में घर लेके निकलते थे, come back drunk as hell. Good sorted life.
Lovely, yeah.
So yeah, so much thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Again,
Sometime later, or you can host me at some of the new plays that you're doing.
Okay, 100%. We should definitely do this. I will hit you up. We should have a drink someday, and yeah, you should drink with me one night. Because when I drink, then
that's an experience.
that's an experience. That's a fun night in itself.
High Spirits में एक नीचे segment भी था कि drinks with Somesh. It's an expensive segment.
It's actually the cheapest segment because you won't end up paying for anything. Tu बोलेगा I'm the one like चल एक पीना मैं पिलाता हूँ चल. So yeah, that's
Cool,
what it is.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Chalo.